Hello, my name is Sam. Welcome to my channel. Today we are on day 4 of Cookmas. I am very excited. Today we are making tres leche cake. This is just perfect if you want something to just throw in the fridge overnight to have ready to go for your family, just like cheesecake, sponge cake, you know, those type of things. So you are going to need 2 bowls, one to pour your milk in, and then you are going to need, I'm going to read off like our ingredients when we get started, but I'm very excited to have you guys. Let's get started. Grab your aprons. Putting on the apron. I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. I am so sorry. I originally planned to do 12 videos, but I underestimated just how much I had left for schoolwork and also like, you know, home life and all those things. So I'm hoping I can still reach 12, but I just don't know if that's possible. So my goal for right now is to have 6 up before tomorrow. So I'm kind of just like batch cooking today. Like, this is a little bit tight. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is making our egg yolk batter. So we are going to separate 5 eggs. You're going to put your yolk in here, and you're going to put your egg whites in there. I need to take off my ring so that I don't get her dirty. Alright, let's get started. Or just whichever it goes to. I might do the egg whites in here because that's where I started. And then just set that up to the side. I'm gonna do this to all 5 eggs. I find for me this is the best way to separate. Other people do the bottle method where they just pour everything in and then they use a bottle to suck up the yolk. I just find this is just much easier for me. So just go ahead and separate these. Got a little bit of a sniffle today. That is 5 egg yolks and 5 egg whites. We're going to set the egg whites to the side because if you fluff it up now, it's not going to be good. It's just going to deflate and then you're going to have to start all over. I learned that the hard way. And you're going to have 3/4 cups of granulated sugar with this. So pour that in. And you want that to be a pale yellow, just like we did on tiramisu. Once you get that pale yellow, we're going to pour in our flour, baking powder, and milk. So for this, you are going to need 1.5 cup of flour. This is supposed to be sifted. If you don't have a sifter, just pour it in like slowly and just make sure your batter is smooth. You don't want any clumps in there. And then, sorry, I just have my notes here. And then you're going to need half a cup of milk. And I recommend that you put your baking powder in directly into your flour. You're going to need 2 teaspoons. Last time I had the gingerbread ones, and today I have peppermint. I always worry these are like freaking huge, but you know, they're really not. 2, and that is baking powder, not baking soda. Just mix that into your flour. Set that off to the side. Now I do have a sifter somewhere. I just had it. I literally just had it. I just pulled it out. Pause. What is happening? I just had it. Did it drop? No? Okay. Well, like I said, we don't have a sifter, so we're just going to pour this in slowly, I guess. I'm just gonna do this set off to the side and grab a spatula. I'm just going to pour this in little by little since I don't have my sifter. I just do this so that it falls in slowly. Like I said, you want no clumps, so I also pour in my milk a little bit so that I'm not having clumps. And you want a batter. Next one. This one has my baking powder in it. This recipe does take a little bit to get going, but that's the thing about just Leche. It's one of those patient recipes where this is something that you can do the night before Christmas, like how I'm doing. Just have ready to go for your family. I'll do the next section. If you cannot tell, I really love the holidays. It's my favorite time of year. I love just hanging out with family and friends and, you know, just the snow, the lights, the trees. I just love, like, seeing all that stuff. And this year, Xavier and I are hosting, so that's going to be, like, super fun. I am excited. I'm just making sure this doesn't have clumps. That's why you see me going back and forth, trying to smooth out anything. And pour in the last little bit. This gets my hands. Don't forget the rest of your milk. is dripping on my counter. I have to clean that up. So, got the rest of my milk in there and the rest of my flour. Now is a good time to preheat your oven to 350 after you've got this section done, while you're smoothing out your batter. Remember, no clumps. Alright, take this batter, set it to your side, bring over your egg whites. I'm not really looking to clean it, I'm just setting it up. You're going to need 1/4 cup of sugar for this section. So high. You're going to beat this until you get a stiff peak. When you turn over your thing, it should have a little hook, just like how we did in the tiramisu video. Pinch of salt. Back to high. Almost there. Not quite. you're going to put this, another way you can test is if you flip over your bowl, nothing should fall. That's another way to test your pecans, because I know it was a little bit floppy on the mixer. We're going to pour this in. Fold. Do not stir. Fold. Cut and fold. And just slowly incorporate it. It's gonna be a little bit watery because you are putting in egg whites, so don't worry about that. But like I said, you want to fold this in. I do not mix. I don't want it to separate and be all weird. You want sponge cake batter. End up with this pale yellow. Make sure everything is in there, so scrape your bottom, get it all. I'm gonna split this into two things because I do have my mother-in-law taste testing this for me. So pour your batter in. Like sponge cake batter, like that. And then I'm going to use a different container for tomorrow. You're going to bake this at 350 for 30 to 50 minutes. Pop those into the oven. I will be right back. Hello, it's Editing Sam once again. My friend was on the phone during this segment, so I had to turn it off because it was a private conversation. But so for this, you're going to just poke some holes into the cake so that it can soak up the mixture that we just made. After the holes are made, pour it in your mixture. I would say slowly, just to give the cake time to absorb, or else it'll overflow. So just give it time to like fully absorb. After that, pop it into the fridge overnight, and then you're good to go to get ready for your topping. Enjoy! After you put that into the fridge, you are going to just let that be and let it soak up. It doesn't have to be overnight, but it has to be like for a while. So I'm gonna leave that in there until like, I'm gonna check on it, but I'm gonna leave it in there for a couple hours, okay? And I will be back to show you guys how it looks at the end. Mm-hmm. Inside the home. For your whipped topping mixture, you're going to mix together heavy cream, powdered sugar, and vanilla. That's really all you need with some. Yep, that's it. Heavy cream, powdered sugar, vanilla. That is all that you need. I'm gonna be on mute because I'm blending something. So I added more powdered sugar because it was not enough. Uh, I don't know either. I was trying to find an answer for you, but honestly, I don't fucking know either. So that's fair. Girl, you've been over it since you found out you weren't pregnant. Bye. You only got a few more months left. Not even. See, that's a few. That is a few. She might come a little bit earlier. Second babies don't really like to wait. Oh, she gonna come when she feel like it, but I'm just saying like second babies, like statistically, second babies come sooner because like your abdominal wall isn't as strong as before, so you can track better. Like a leaf. I can hear you huffing and puffing. You going through it, girl. She, oh, yeah. Yeah, Bella used to do that too. She used to be in them, like, arms out, hands out, feet out. I'm just like, you can't fold like other babies do. Is that just not possible with you? She's like, shut the fuck up. She pregnant, let her be. Get that baby. Girl.